Artifact Shorts here at the Birmingham Museum. I'm in the children's bedroom of the Hunter House to talk about a recent acquisition that we had to our collection. And this is Patsy Ann the doll. And as you can see, very well loved. She was given to Alice French in 1922 when Alice was 3 years old. And she loved playing with this doll. She has a couple cracks in her. She is plastic head, hands, and feet and legs with a cloth body, which makes her slightly posable. And you can see she still has a lot of her clothing on her, including stockings, shoes, a chemise, and her dress. And not only that, but Alice had accessories for Patsy Ann as well, including a cradle and a rocking chair that were donated by her daughter, Patty Parks, who donated Patsy Ann and inherited her from her mother. And what makes Patsy Ann particularly cool is the story that came along with it. And I'd like to read it to you. It's from Patty, who donated both the doll, talking about her mother, the doll, and her life growing up here in Birmingham. My mother, Alice Wharton French, born on June 24th, 1919, received this doll named Patsy Ann, her cradle, and rocking chair when she was 3 years old in 1922. She spent many hours playing with her cousin Margaret and their dolls. This set is 100 years old and you can see was very well loved. In 1950, my father, Philip French, and my mother, Alice, built a home in a cornfield on a 2-acre lot on Dover Court. It was very rural then, with few homes and dirt roads. I rode horses with a neighbor who owned a stable near us, through the fields now known as Hickory Heights. My family bought eggs from a farmhouse nearby on Waddles Road, which was the only house at that time on Waddles Road. My mother shopped at Peabody's Market on Woodward Avenue. Jim Peabody was a good friend of hers and would always give me a peanut butter log when I came into the store. Birmingham was only 2 main streets at that time. I remember buying my shoes from the 2nd floor of Hudson Hardware in town and taking ballet lessons in the basement of the community house. Hilly Acres delivered our milk and dairy products to our homes in a special box called the milk chute attached to our homes. The picture shows the Birmingham Theater. My mom dropped me off there on Saturdays for a 2-show matinee. The tickets were 25 cents and I bought lemon drops for 10 cents. We had hula hoop contests between shows. My family had 1 car, and my father took the train from the Grand Trunk Railroad Station in Birmingham to Detroit, where he worked at the Detroit Edison Company. The train station on Eaton Street closed and turned into the Big Rock restaurant, which has recently closed as well. In order to make friends, our family joined Kirk in the Hills Church in 1950. The church had only 50 members then, and we attended church in the original structure, which was Colonel George's home. My brother Bob and I attended Birmingham schools, Adams, Torrey, Pembroke, Harlan, Derby, and finally Birmingham High School, which was later renamed Seaholm High. My husband Steve, whom I met in high school, also grew up in Birmingham on Frank Street. He attended Baldwin and Barnum schools, which are now knocked down. He loved riding on the 1924 Pumper fire truck with Merritt Olson and listening to him play his violin in Olson's Market. He also spent time sledding down Daredevil's Run behind the Birmingham Museum and skating on Quarton Lake. We have been married for 50 years. As you can see, many things have changed. We here at the Birmingham Museum treasure both the artifacts that come into the museum donated by residents just like you watching this, but also we really love the stories that give us a personal look into not just the artifacts, how they were used, how people lived, what they remember most from things like their childhood or school years. So thank you so much from both me and Patsy Ann here at the Birmingham Museum. And we'll see you next time for another Artifact Short.